just passing time. Talking about dreams that never fade. Skates on ice, we watch the parade. Life's a game and we're in the rink. Laughing hard, don't care
Well,
what
hello.
they think.
Two more ladies back with you. We've got Karen.
And Angie.
Woohoo. Nice to be back. Okay, so Angie came a little prepared for today.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, and so did you.
Well,
Don't
not
undersell.
much. No,
Don't
not,
undersell.
not as much as you.
Well, okay, I do have quite a few things.
Yeah,
written
you
down.
do. All right, so you're going to take over then.
Okay,
Let's go.
sure. So it is weekend review. Okay, Miss Becky just looked at me. Not one of my best. Not one of my best.
That was all right. It was all right.
I need to actually put effort into that. I was trying to think of different tunes I could do it to. Anyway, I'll come
That's good.
prepared next week.
Okay.
Okay, so weekend review for me. I've got a few things. I won't take up a lot of time, but I think number one, Team Canada won.
Yellow.
Let's just, call it what it is. It was amazing.
Yep.
Overtime, McJesus scoring the goal, 3-2, just like when Crosby scored the golden goal in the 2010 Olympics.
Yeah.
Pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, I won't lie, when I'm invested in something, I have a lot of trouble watching. So I'd have my phone, I'd turn it on, off, and on, and off, and on, and off. Anyway, did get to see the goal live, which is nice. But very exciting. And it was just sort of like an FU to Trump.
Yeah.
It really is. There's a lot of hubbub right now about Wayne Gretzky not wearing a Canadian jersey and backing Trump and all of that kind of stuff. And politics and sports, I don't know. Not sure it's meant to mix.
No.
But you could certainly feel some of the additional tension on that game. So it'll be interesting. It's really exciting for the Olympics coming up next year. So a lot of the same players will be there, and looking forward to that for sure.
Well, I can just say about, the game, I'm not a big hockey watcher, and Chris wasn't home, so I put it on. Well, we watched it here, and then when I went home, I was watching something else. I'm like, and I kept going back in just to check what the score was, and then I put it on the telly literally 30 seconds before they scored the goal,
nice.
and I was just like, hallelujah, I got to see it live.
Well played.
Yeah, I know.
Well played.
Yeah, so then I got to watch the celebrations, which is cool. Yeah.
Well, and I like to stay on for the sad after interviews. I know it's not a good trait. Like Roy tells me all the time, like, that's pretty sick, man. But there's just something about watching the losing team when I don't like them.
Yeah.
Have to give an interview. And I mean, kudos to all of them who do interviews after losing, because that cannot be easy.
No, and I mean, what are you saying, Yeah, they played well. We gave it our best. They got one up on us.
Well, and I mean, for the Americans, it had to be extra frustrating because Bennington just shut the door. They had 5 good chances in overtime. They really outplayed the Canadians in overtime, and it's just the way sports goes sometimes.
Yeah.
But the good guys won. So,
woohoo!
Yeah. Okay, so then I guess the other things that happened this week is Alistair went away on his first trip without us.
Yeah.
So, Frontier Games. And 3 nights away from us, and he did fantastic.
Good.
The Timberwolves boys volleyball team didn't do as well as they'd hoped. I think they ended up with a bronze, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But a couple of tough games for them, but certainly played their hearts out. I know all the kids did. So they came back with a whole bunch of medals and a lot of smiles. There was some great pictures from the parent chaperones. Hey, Rip.
Hey, Rip.
Rip's here, and he's the cutest little thing you'll ever see.
Yeah. Climbing the boards.
Little brother of one of the star skaters, so he's hanging out with us.
I'm not in Star State.
No, you're
No,
a
you're
little
not
brother of a star skater.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Did he call you? Like, did you talk
He
to him
called
during
me
it?
the first morning. He FaceTimed me and I was at work.
Okay.
But he wasn't sad. He was just telling me what's happening with his day. And then I guess the second day, they couldn't be in the room because all the parent chaperones were watching games. So he had to be out, and he just played with his friends. I got no messages from him. I assumed his phone was dead. But yeah, no, he was just out having a good time. So
that's good.
yeah, I was pretty happy about that. I'll give a quick shout out to Roy because it was our 16th wedding anniversary early this week. We did nothing. But that's consistent with us and who we are. He did indicate that he tried to follow the the gift giving
What
thing
is
of
it?
anniversary. Like,
Something-
I don't know. Like in the past, he had started it for a little while. He was doing like paper and then cotton and whatever, and then he just stopped doing it, which is cool. So yeah, so that happened. And then, and so this is both of us. We did a thing this week.
We did.
We essentially announced to the Facebook world, I guess,
Yeah.
our friends on the Facebook world, that we have a podcast.
Yeah. And so we put it out there, and I think we made it public so they could share it to friends of
Yep.
friends or whatever, right? So we have now opened ourselves up, and we can say that we are from Gillam, Manitoba.
Very proud to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason we held off just doing that is not quite sure how it was going to go, and the fact that we are around kids and we didn't want to be exposing anybody to something that, didn't want, because we all know what the internet can be
Yeah,
like.
it can be pretty ugly.
Yeah, so, but now we've had some pretty good feedback from the community.
Yep,
Very supportive.
absolutely.
And that was a big moment. We were sitting around the table and we were about to play.
Sequence?
No, we were playing
No.
that other one.
Pretty incorrect or something.
Yeah,
like-
politically incorrect or something,
something
like
like
that. Yeah. And we went 1, 2, 3, post.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
big deal. So
Yeah.
very exciting, and we're thankful for all of the positive feedback and excitement that our friends and family have shared with us about having the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It was pretty cool.
it was. So I think that's not that we're done, but just as a bit of a foreshadow. So I think that gives us a great opportunity to talk a little bit about where we're from, and we'll do that in the next segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's my week.
Your week. So my week was spent. I was at the conference
Right.
that we
Yeah.
talked about, and it was in Thompson. And Thompson is kind of like the hub of northern Manitoba, and so it was a very cool conference. It was a 3-day thing. There was government ministers, deputy ministers. There was a bunch of different people in relation to education for more of the industry side, right?
Okay.
Like getting people trained on the mining equipment and all that kind of stuff. So it was very much about development of the north and making sure that everybody was in partnership and that we were going to be avoiding the history by using and abusing the land
Yeah.
without the local indigenous permission or involvement. And so now it seems to be very much, I hope it follows through with that, but it does seem to be very much, it's all now in the local indigenous band of that area.
Fantastic.
Nothing
As it
happens
should be,
without
yeah.
their say, and they're stakeholders in it.
Yeah,
So that
partnerships,
was really
yeah.
cool. Yeah, so I really appreciated that. A lot of networking opportunities,
Right
lots
on.
of conversation. So I was 3 days away, and because it was in Thompson, Kate came with me, and she was able to see her boyfriend.
Very
who lives
exciting.
in Thompson, yeah.
Very
So she
exciting.
got to see Ken and spent some time with him, so that was good for them. And then Lauren benefited because I brought them home a Domino's pizza.
Yeah, they were just telling me how they scarfed 3 pieces of the bunch of ranch and
I
now
know.
feel. I
Yeah.
love Lauren.
Well, and we didn't mention their love of ranch in the past, so I
Yes,
had to bring
yeah.
home ranch for the pizza, which I don't get. Like, they dip their pepperoni pizza into ranch. Like,
I don't know. I
I
could
don't
see
know.
why you would do that.
Oh.
Sounds good.
I don't know. Little Rip.
Buddy. I love Rip.
Yeah, he had the cutest smile. He's one of
Yeah.
those kids you just want to squeeze his cheeks.
Super bad.
Yeah.
Super, super bad.
Yeah, so that was us. That was pretty much my week. Other than that, did same old. We got together, played some games, talked about doing housework, didn't do much of anything.
No, that happens though sometimes.
Yeah.
But there was one major thing that happened that you're forgetting, and I was leaving it to you to share because I had a long laundry list of shit
What?
to talk about. Oh my God!
Yeah,
Really?
seriously.
What are we? Did you even bring frames back?
Oh, I did. I did.
So now let's talk about why we need frames.
Okay, so I had to pick up some photo frames because we got our first official sponsor.
That's us high-fiving.
And that comes back to the local community supporting us. And yeah, it all kind of came about where I think we've mentioned Brianne as one of the people who has made comments and whatnot in supporting us. And yeah, Brianne is involved in the business of Fuse Muse Glass, or Fuse Muse Fuse Glass.
There you go.
And yeah, so she approached Lisa, who owns it, and said, "Hey, you should listen to this." And Lisa listened to it and said, "Could I do a commercial? Would they do that?" So yeah, so we did.
Yeah.
And the frames are because she paid us to do this, and we got 3 frames, and we're putting the money into the we're framing each bill.
Yeah.
And one for me, one for Angie, and one for Noah, who is our
In my parents' basement productions.
productions. Yes. He's the one that puts it all together, adds the music, fades it in and out, and does all that for us. So yeah, so that was very exciting. We're not actually doing anything with the cash other than admiring it and
Yes.
marking the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which is very exciting.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
thank you. Again, menopause brain.
Yeah, it's the menofog.
So okay, speaking of that,
Can we claim that term though, menofog?
I think we
It's
should.
ours now.
I think we should because when I
Patent pending.
okay, let me finish talking.
No.
When I uploaded the podcast to
Menopause.
YouTube and Spotify, I put Weekend Review Take 2, and it should have been Weekend Review Menofog, but I thought Take 2
yeah.
sounded more, the alliteration,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we never referred to it as Take 2.
No.
I don't know why I did it as Take 2. So maybe I'll go back in there and change it to Menofog and see if we can't
Interesting.
hashtag that and
Hashtag menopause.
Hashtag.
Menofog.
Menofog.
TM.
Yeah.
No. So we also bought shit to make merch.
Yes.
And now I'm thinking menofog. Hashtag menofog should go on.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so because we were super excited about this and we were having so much fun, we've actually gone out and invested in a little bit in our little endeavor here,
Yes.
where we've created a website. And to do that, we had to spend some money for it to be hosted, and I've done a whole lot of
man.
learning
All of
and
it.
Googling
All of the work, too.
and a lot of research, but we got the website up and running, so twoboardladies.ca.
With
You
a
can-
number 2.
Yeah,
same
the
as
number
the-
2.
Yep.
And then, and then we invested in some merch.
Yep.
We got some
Well,
t-shirts
hold on
coming
here.
in.
We invested in t-shirts.
Yeah, which we're making into merch.
We'll see. Right? Like, Angie's never done this before.
Well,
but our
I
buddy
did my part. I ordered the
sure did.
shirts. Now it's up to you.
Leah, who's a kick-ass person, is sharing her heat press with me, and I've got the Cricut going. So yeah, we'll see. I've watched several YouTube videos on using
Well,
the heat
then you're an
press.
expert.
I'm fucking set.
Yeah, so if they turn out well, and people are interested, then maybe we could potentially,
Merch
put them
it up.
out there, see
Merch
if
it
people would be interested in buying some and supporting us, and then I was thinking too, because as I mentioned before, I enjoy listening to the Two Johnnies podcast out of Ireland, and they do, and it was something I really liked on there, is that I noticed that, how we talk about stuff and then sometimes we get comments, right? So then they take those comments, or people will send in some feedback of their own stories, and they'll talk about them a little bit, and then they'll give the best story, a free mug or something like that. And I'm like, I kind of like that idea. We wouldn't have to do it every week, but maybe we could do it once a month or something.
Who wouldn't want a menofog
Yeah.
menofog
T-shirt,
mug or
mug,
t-shirt?
or mug. Yeah, whatever.
Now I gotta get a heat press for mugs. Fuck. Oh, or Roy could do it on the X tool.
I don't know what an X tool is.
It's the thing that engraved the mugs for the skaters there last year.
that
The
was
laser
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. One
Yeah.
way or another, we'll make mugs. So
Yeah.
comment and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so derailed. But so we got our first sponsor,
Oh, yeah.
community support, and that leads into our next segment.
Yes,
So
it is.
come back.
All right.
Looking for something truly unique? Discover Fuse Muse Fused Glass, where art meets light in dazzling color. From fused glass supplies to one-of-a-kind materials for glass artists and mosaic makers, we bring your creative visions to life. Jewelry makers, artists, and mosaic lovers stand out with our exclusive designs. Shop online today at www.fusemusefuseglass.com. That's www.fusemusefuseglass.com. Or visit us on Instagram and Facebook for inspiration. Fuse Muse Fuse Glass, where creativity shines. back to part 2 of Two Bored Ladies. Here with
Karen, still,
I'm a moron, and Angie.
still,
Still, yeah.
yeah, haven't gone
I
anywhere.
don't know what's going on. It's been a day.
It
I'm not
has.
gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked a little bit in the first segment about our sponsor, being wonderful Fuse Muse Fuse Glass.
Yep.
Please check her out on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
I believe.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. Like for anybody
amazing
that doesn't know,
glass
like I
work.
think when Lisa's, oh here we go. I had a ginger ale. I'm burping
Oh
again.
no.
When we yeah, so she was making her own
Woo!
like glass ornaments and whatnot, and now she's more into the designing for the people that are making. And
Yeah,
the
she
stuff
makes like
does
the
is-
silhouettes and
yeah,
stuff.
It's
Like
amazing.
it's cool. Super
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Every year I buy a Christmas decoration from her too.
Yeah.
And the kids just have one from like every. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really
And I
neat.
think she's like one of the top sellers on Etsy,
On
as
Etsy?
well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's also
Very
on Etsy.
cool,
So
yeah.
yeah. So Rip's visiting us
Twirling pucks.
and twirling pucks. This is what happens at the rink. That was pretty cool, Rip. Rip says his favorite thing about Gillam, by the way, is because that's why he loves to live here, but
Because.
also the snow quadding and fishing. So just so people know. Fuse Muse, Fuse Glass, wonderful sponsor, but great business in the community. And so that kind of got us, with us sharing on Facebook about our podcast and stuff like that. We wanted to talk a little bit about Gillam.
Yeah, our community, our
Yeah,
home.
Gillam Fox Lake, to be fair. So Fox Lake Cree Nation is the Cree Nation. This is their territory. It's Treaty 5.
Yeah.
And we're at the end of our episodes mentioning the land acknowledgement. And I think I'm going to try to get the full land acknowledgement. We had done sort of a brief one because we weren't sharing exactly where we were. But we'll get the full land acknowledgement and start either saying it at the beginning or having Noah still complete it at the end because
Yeah.
I think it's important to us. And
Absolutely.
yeah. So Gillam.
Gillam.
Do we want to start with our origin stories? Like, why are we in Gillam?
Sure.
Neither of us were born here.
No. Well, we know I was born in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario. Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
go. You go. You go.
I'll go.
Okay.
Sure. So, I guess mine is probably a tale as old as time. Followed my boyfriend up here because we both had careers in the south. He was kind of in a smaller town, about an hour outside of Winnipeg. I was in Winnipeg, and it was kind of hard for us to be able to live together at that point. So he's like, why don't we go to Gillam? I'll make really great money up there. We'll be comfortable. You can my plan was I was going to finish my degree and then in 3 years move down for law school. So we're 19 years late. It'll be 19 years this summer. So we're 19 years later. I did not go to law school. Didn't finish my degree.
Well, you know what? I'm grateful that you didn't go to law
Aw.
school because then you probably wouldn't be here.
No, we probably would have left. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you, we fell in love with being here. We didn't have kids yet, but I found a job. Like I worked for the town, or I worked for the airport for a little while, and then I got on with one of the major companies up here, and we built. We got married, and then we had Abby, and it's just home. Like this is. My father-in-law lived here for ages, and he met his wife up here. And
didn't realize that.
Yeah, she was a nurse up here,
Oh.
and he met her. And if I'm wrong, I'm very sorry to any of my family that's the same, but I'm pretty sure that was how it went. And so it's just, he would always say that the friends you make here are like family, right? Because a lot of people move here, and it can be transient. And the people who stay, you really build a close bond, and you rely on them like family. So,
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's my origin story about why I'm here. How about you?
Well, mine was work as well. So, unfortunately, I came into my job because the predecessor to my position had a heart attack and passed away. And it was crazy in the fact that I knew him well, and we had happened to be at a conference together.
Oh, wow, I
Sat and
didn't
had
know this.
coffee. Yeah, we sat and had coffee at one of the breakouts, and he was driving home, and I was living in the Interlake at the time. And I found out like at the end of that week that he got home and then he had been really sick along the way, and then didn't realize because he was puking he actually was having a heart attack. And when he got back to Gillam, he went to work, and his coworkers were like, "You should be going to the hospital." And when he got to the hospital, they medevaced him out straight away, but he never made it. It was just crazy story.
Oh, I did not know those in
Yeah.
that kind of detail.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So then I was still working for the co-op down south, and I met with HR. Our guy would come on an annual basis just to touch base, and we were just chit-chatting, and I said, is there anybody interested in going to Gillam? And he said, well, what about you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Because at that point, Chris was like the breadwinner, and we had young kids. And then I went to a meeting a few weeks later and chatted with a few people and agreed to come up and check out the community. And for me, it was very similar to Northern Ontario, where when we came to Canada from Ireland, we moved to community Manitowoc in Northern Ontario, and it was a similar thing. You drive in at the end of the road, there's the community's there, and to leave you got to go back out the same road. Now granted, Manitowoc is a bit bigger, but to me it was kind of the same thing, and it felt like a safe place that we could raise kids, and there was good opportunities for Chris work-wise because of his background and his education. He'd be able to get on to work here, which he did. So we thought we'd be here for maybe 3-4 years kind of thing, and I'll be 15 this fall.
And I'm very thankful that, I don't know how to put this, that doesn't sound crazy, but I'm just thankful you made your way up here. There was a way for that to happen, and I'm thankful for softball teams.
Yes.
And getting together in the summer and playing beer pong and building those relationships with, T-Rex arms.
And that would be me because I'm short and I can't reach the beer pong cups, and yeah.
But and we built a really great friendship, and so pretty interesting. Like, I don't know, I think they're pretty interesting origin stories, and I mean everybody's got a different story, and obviously there's lots of people who are born and raised here, lots like Cree Nation folks, and I think the big thing I pulled from what you said there about the community is just the safety and the comfort, and I'm not worried about where my kids are. I'm not worried when
They'll
want
get
to
a
walk
crap
somewhere.
if they don't tell us where they're going.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm
I
not
still
worried.
care.
Yeah. I do love them.
It's not all out whatever you want in my home, but so I thought maybe too we could talk just a little bit about some of the amenities, some of the fun things that we can do up here. I mean, it's not a recruitment mission, but I think it's kind of nice to celebrate the town. I mean,
Absolutely.
I certainly, when I think about Gillam, it's a big part of who I am and who my family is, and it's given us a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly appreciative for everything that it's done for us. So, and the people in the town.
Well, and to me, that's one of the biggest parts. Like, I remember when Chris started working, he had to go down to Winnipeg to go to college because he had to do some additional schooling for his position. And so he was gone for 10 weeks. And at one morning, I was getting the kids ready for school, and I bent down to help Kate with her tights to pull them up, and I herniated my back and a disc, and it was really, really bad. And then, just literally calling a neighbor across the road. She came over and got the kids to school. Then her husband came home from work, got me to the hospital. And then I ended up being medevaced out because they thought I banged my head and stuff. But when I came back, so here I am, being medevaced out of the community. We'd only been here maybe 2 years.
It wasn't very long because we were still relatively new friends at the time.
Yeah, I think maybe 2 years or so. And and then my neighbor, my friend, she came with me and made sure that I was okay there. And then when I came back, the few friends we had rallied around, took care of the twins and Gabby. And then, my house was clean. They'd done my laundry. And then because my back was so bad, I couldn't get upstairs to the bed, and I couldn't lay in a bed because I couldn't get out of it. And I remember the nurse coming because she was also a friend.
Yes,
would come from the hospital and give me the injections, the pain injections, because the doctor called and she's like, "Can you make it to the hospital?" I'm like, "Well, I'll try." And she's like, "No, we'll send Jen to you," and she did. So. So it was just that small town where everybody takes care of each other, and then And then, Gabby is now in university and she's taken political studies. And one of the reasons that she's so passionate about it is because she grew up in Gillam and she has such a passion for, reconciliation, Indigenous rights, and, she wants to be an ally, and when we talk about things now, she's got 4 years of university, and she asked me to read one of her papers and to give her some advice, and I read it. I'm like, I got nothing to add. Like, you've now surpassed anything I could potentially do. But it was kind of funny because then she's talking about, how grateful she is for growing up in the North, and while many people might think, you lack a lot of amenities, you don't have the conveniences of a Starbucks or, whatever. And some people can't live without those things.
Absolutely. It's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
And that's fair.
Yeah. And that's interviewing people to come work up here. That was one of the things I remember. One of my workers right now, one of my team, she said, "I feel like you're trying to talk me out of coming up here." And I'm like, no. I want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, because this isn't for everybody, right? And now she's been with us 8 years, and I think 6, 7, something like that. And she has said, like, recently, it was one of the best moves I ever made. So yeah.
So very
people
cool.
is a big part of it.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we get to enjoy that with skating, and we've got the big ice show this weekend, which I'm sure will be part of our weekend review.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, we all band together to decorate the arena, and so okay, so that kind of goes into a little bit maybe about what we do with our people while we're up here, right? So I'd say another thing I'd heard, which I'll just regurgitate too, is Gillam's what you make of it.
Yeah.
So it's what you get, what you participate in, what you get active in, what you support, and then just getting outside and doing things, right? So it's an outdoor person's heaven.
Oh yeah.
So fishing.
Yep.
Right. So I know Chris does in the summer, in the winter.
He's hoping to get out ice fishing this weekend. So
Yeah. Well, it's fucking cold.
I
So
know,
best of
I
luck,
know.
Chris.
Lauren is trying to
Whatever,
convince him to go out. Lauren and their boyfriend Sheldon, I think they might want to go out and do some ice fishing with Chris. So they'll be alone. I won't be with them. I won't be going. But
Sheldon's eyes scream.
Sheldon's
what?
saying no. Did I just tell him that the first time?
So.
Oops.
But yeah, ice fishing's not for everybody. Like
Yeah.
me, for instance, I'm a warm weather kind of person, but that's okay. It's there for the people who want to do it. Actually, one of the things I seen on Facebook today was the Winter Carnival that's coming up, and Gillam and the rec center staff and Maddie do an incredible job putting together different activities through the whole week. So there's a puzzle creating one, there's a 24-hour beading competition, there's the chef one, the chop challenge, which we've participated in the past as a family. It's really fun.
And then that's
cardboard snowboard
and I
sledding.
think Fox Lake Cree Nation is a big partner in that, especially with their adverse effects group, because they sponsor so many of these events, trying to get people engaged, get the kids out participating. It's a really joint effort.
Absolutely,
it's very
so
cool.
that's a big shout out to the rec center staff, because they do a really good job.
Yeah, they do.
And, that's always a lot of fun. So anyway, going back to things we can do. So I'm a fair weather person, but there's a softball league.
Yep.
And so I'm sure you caught on, but that's where Karen and I kind of met and built the bond we have today to do something this ridiculous.
I think it started off as singing songs in the outfield.
There's a very good chance.
Something like that, where I was like, I think I remember that, where there was, I don't know if there was music playing, and we started bopping, and then we started singing 90s songs, and it was like, hey, I like
it. So there's softball, there's quadding, which we do. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I do enjoy going through the mud or just going through the bush.
Well, and there's so much places to go around up here.
Endless, right?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's
Woo!
That was one of the things that we invested in when we got here, was after a few years, saved up, bought a quad, and because it was a great way to hang out with other people and go out and do stuff. And I remember actually one time where Chris, we didn't have a quad at the time, so Chris went, and then shout out to Kim and Al, who used to live up here.
Yeah.
And there was a big crew of people going out, and I believe you were one of them, and I think Abby was with you in the back.
Yeah.
And so you guys, I said, you guys go, I'll have all the kids hanging around the house. It was a beautiful day, so they were in and out of the house. I didn't care. And then I remember Kim coming to the door, and she was just head to toe mud. Yeah, and then it was like stripping clothes off at the doorway, and then just trying to get some clean, and then just spending the rest of the evening together. I think we had a fire and did food over the fire. It was just such a great environment.
It really is. It's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
So what else am I missing? Well, there's snowmobiling, obviously. In the winter, there's hockey leagues.
Mm-hmm.
There's skating.
Curling is also big,
yeah. The Bonspiel for the ladies is coming up.
Yeah, it's
they
coming up
had the
soon.
men's a couple weekends ago, and I can't remember exactly when the ladies one is, but it's always a great time, and they do a theme. I think it's some tiaras and tutus this year.
Yes,
So,
and we have participated in the past, and we've
fuck
had some fun. I mean, I think we got to mention the point when the four of us went into the mixed one, right? Chris and Roy and ourselves, and we were playing against, like, none of us are really great curlers. We just went, like, it's more bonspieling, and bonspieling for those who are not, familiar with curling, and maybe those family in Ireland and England and whatnot. It's more about drinking and having fun. I mean, not drinking,
on ice.
Yeah, well, not like drinking where you're polluted or anything, but
until
like,
the night.
Oh, yeah.
But not while you're on the ice.
I do believe that was the time Chris brought the rum gummies, where he had the gummy worms soaked in rum, and they swelled up with the rum, and they're really good. But anyways, there was this one particular game we were curling, and we were curling against a foursome, and the father of the team, he was, I think officially blind. I know he had
that's right.
He has some sight, but he was officially blind, I believe.
Yeah.
And so they were kicking our ass.
They beat us. I'm just
So
like,
bad.
that went to a corner of my mind where shame lives, and I don't think about it.
That was the time we tried to tell Roy, you need to pretend you hurt yourself.
so we could leave
without being like big losers, right? So then Roy's in the hack, so he's sliding out with the rock, and he was supposed to do this big, like fall over.
And it was the
And
worst.
so all he did was slide out and go, and nobody heard him. And me and you were looking at him, now we have to go sweeping this rock. And we're like, what the hell is that?
It was the worst. It was the worst. And now I need to talk to him about that because it was brutal. But I'm like, I enjoyed the first four ends, and then I'm like, I'm fine. I'm done,
Yeah,
man.
I'm good. Let's go
Like,
drink.
yeah, I swept for a while. I can feel it on my shoulders. Let's
Yeah.
go. I mean, I'm a rabid curling fan. I'll watch it on TV
yeah.
all day long, but I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think it's very much a big Canadian winter sport too. I mean, I know it's very popular in other countries too, in the Olympics, and then seeing countries like Korea and China and whatnot do really well.
Yeah.
But pointing out that most of them are doing well because they have Canadian coaches.
Yes,
Just
and
putting
they're
that out there.
pouring money into the training for those events, where
Yes.
this is just big at a low, like a grassroots level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabby, Gabby, when she was here, she was a really big into junior curling.
Yep.
And so she got to skate or curl for Northern Manitoba. She got to go to curling camps with Reed Brothers
she met
and
some-
stuff.
yeah.
Like held the Olympic medals in her hands and stuff. So like all of that is literally developing all of it from the local clubs. And then you get to represent Canada by winning your local region and then going to your provincial and then going to the nationals. Like it is total grassroots.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so much. I'm just thinking about the time too. Like Becky does so much for the skating club. Last year she made arrangements to get Caitlin Osmond up here, which was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
So she brought her Olympic medals. So I guess really where I'm going, and I don't know, maybe I'm sure you agree, like there's always something happening.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to go out and participate and sometimes get involved, right? Like, it's no different than any other community where you have a large portion of the same people who do a lot of the volunteering. But I mean, there's a lot of groups, so I mean, I think there's a fair amount of community involvement
There
across
is,
the
yeah.
board. So
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I think we failed to mention one of the most beautiful parts. So it's funny because Alistair, when we drive the 280, so that's the 2.5 hour stretch between Gillam and Thompson.
Gravel Road.
Gravel Road,
Yeah.
which is at times terrible, but that's not the point of this. He will regularly say, I'm just so thankful to live in Gillam. It's so beautiful up
Yeah.
here. And it really is. And I
Yeah.
think so one of the most beautiful things we get to see are the Northern Lights.
On the regular.
And so last
Yeah.
night, actually,
Yeah.
somebody posted, and they were insanely intense green.
Yeah.
And I know that like one of my favorite things is when we're doing the bonfires in your backyard in the summer.
Yeah.
And the Northern Lights come out, and we're just chilling in the backyard watching the Northern Lights.
Yeah,
So,
and sometimes it's not even dark yet.
Yeah.
And you see them coming out, like they're that strong sometimes. Yeah. And actually, when I was working on our website, I actually have one of the pictures that Roy took for the co-op competition, and I was trying to figure out how to get it onto the site, so I'm still working on that.
all right. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I think I don't know. Is there anything else you want to cover about Gillam?
Other than it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come visit.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the train that comes right into town, goes,
Yeah.
we're the last big stop before Churchill.
That's right.
And,
And there's no road to Churchill, so yeah, you'd have to take the train up that
Yeah.
way or fly, I guess.
And I think maybe we'll leave the whole, I know we didn't really talk about this, but maybe that could be a whole other episode with the murderers who ended up
Oh shit.
technically not
Yeah.
even really in Gillam, more closer to Fox Lake.
Maybe we bring
Nation.
people in and interview them about what it was like, because
Yeah.
my family was on vacation the entire month. We left the day before they barricaded the roads, and we came back right after they found them.
Yeah, and I was
so
here through
you
it all.
managed to, yeah, it was
Yeah.
a shit show for you. So
It
maybe
was.
I'll interview you about it.
Okay,
All right,
yeah.
another time.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Attention collectors and enthusiasts looking for the ultimate custom collectibles? It's Patch Madness. Custom trading cards for sport to non-sport, relic cards, and even stickers. If you can dream it, we can create it. Reach out today at twoboredladies24@gmail.com for your personalized masterpiece. Patch Madness, where your passion becomes a code.
All right, so welcome back. So my little piece of something that us being so unprepared and thinking, I wonder what I could do, is actually came about. I saw a news article from cbc.ca, and it was songs that are only famous in Canada. So if you were to leave Canada and you're singing this song expecting everybody to bop along, they're not going to, because it really only made it big in Canada. So I thought Angie is a huge music aficionado.
Oh, careful.
And I thought maybe this could be Angie's time to shine.
Ooh.
So I am going to play little snippets of the songs and see if she recognizes them.
I feel a lot
Okay?
of pressure. Little
Okay.
snippets, like how long those?
Oh, well, I don't even know, because I'm just kind of moving into the middle of the song, and then I'll play it and see if you can sing along. But the problem is we've
there's
got some
conflicting music,
Yeah.
but
so
play it really
we'll give
loud.
it a show, a go. Okay,
go.
ready?
Yep. Time to get down, but we're moving up. Oh, God, crab in the bucket! Crab in the bucket! I love that
Okay.
song. My kids and I sing it all the time
So
at
who
home.
sings it?
I don't know, but they're putting crabs in a bucket and they love it.
KOS.
Fuck.
Can you believe that didn't make it across the world?
That's such a great song. It's so
I
good.
So Crab in the Bucket.
Yep.
If anybody's interested.
Such a good song. I love it.
All right, so
Okay.
here's the next one. Again, I'm just literally pulling forward things, so I don't know whereabouts in the song it's playing.
I don't know that
Oh,
one.
you do.
I don't know it. I can't.
California. No?
No.
Okay, well maybe we need to find a better part of the song. Hold on. I think I might have missed the good part. Hold on. We'll go here.
Okay, so I recognize
Yeah.
it, but I don't know who sings that.
Okay.
Who is it?
Wave. I don't know who they are either. But I know the song. Because as I was going through these, I'm like, oh yeah, I know this one.
Oh no. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. We're a little worried that the laptop might die. So, okay, we're hurrying up. We're hurrying
No,
up.
don't worry. Let's just
Okay,
we'll
okay.
re-record if we need.
I'll be instrument of joy to keep the good times.
Come on.
They're from the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know the world can be ours.
Come on.
Great Big Sea?
Yes.
Okay,
What's
but
the
what's the
song?
song called?
We'll keep the good times rolling. Wait and see.
Here it is.
Wait and see. I'll wait and see.
Is that what it's called? Wait
Oh,
and see? I don't
okay, it's
know.
about, here we go.
Oh, and I'm up with you.
Yeah.
I'm not great at
So
this game,
good.
but it is
I
a
love
really
that
good song.
I
really
love
Great Big Sea. Yeah.
Okay, now this one I can't believe wasn't a worldwide hit.
Oh my God, this is the cartoon guy.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
All right. Sucks to be you.
I know.
Sucks to be you. I know it's true. Oh, what were they called?
Yeah. Keep going. Think of the drug.
Placebo? No, placebo's somebody else, but I can't. Percocet. I don't.
Prozac.
Percocet. P.
Alright, I don't know if we can hear this when the music's getting loud. This is an oldie.
Oh, is this Gowan?
Yes?
Not Strange Animal.
No.
Oh, fuck, his mullet was so great. I know the song so well, and I love that you're playing it. It makes me think of my dad's old car and like fucking 80s driving around Thunder Bay. What song is it?
Criminal Minds.
Oh, so good! I need this playlist when I get home.
Well, I'll share it with you. Maybe what I could do is I could share it to the website.
Oh, genius.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm not going through. Oh, this one I couldn't believe was only Canadian. This one blew my mind.
It sounds like I'm trying to take a poop here. Let's take a patio light lantern. Kim.
Yeah. Pedal Legends. Yeah.
Kim. Oh, Kimmy has long hair too. Lantern. Some Kim O'Leary. Kim Mitchell.
Kim Mitchell. All right. This one. Now I think this one might have done well. Not well, but might be a little known outside Canada, but not huge.
Waving flag,
Yeah.
and it's like K-Dog,
Is K-Man.
K-Man, yeah. They're huge during the 2010 Olympics.
Do you know why they
No.
made this song? It was to raise money for, I want to say, was it Jamaica or not Jamaica? Who? Not Jamaica. Where the hurricane hit.
Haiti.
Yeah, it was to raise money for Haiti. And it was all of the Canadian popular singers came together to
I had
create
no
that song.
idea.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you know this one.
I used to be a farmer and I made a living fine.
No, I don't know this
You
one.
don't know it?
Along the safety line. But times went by and though I tried, the money wasn't there. And bankers came and took my land and told me fair is fair. I looked for every kind
Yo,
of job.
I'm
The
out.
answer
It's the
always
last
no.
Saskatchewan
I
Pirates.
knew now they'd always
I've
By
never
the
even
arrogant
heard of that
worms.
song.
But he mentions the co-op. That's so awesome. Okay, and this one, you might recognize this one because you do enjoy the Olympics, and this was played a lot at the Olympics. Oh, hold on, did I lose it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Hold on. Hold on.
One minute's fading, 1 minute's past, but I've got this moment.
She was on Rockstar in Excess.
Oh God, no, I don't know.
Dude, you do watch Rockstar in
No, I
Excess,
didn't.
didn't you? How could you not have watched this?
Because I just wasn't in all those shows.
Okay, well, she is
Are we
Canadian.
friends?
She also sang. Listen to this part.
If you just believe.
It's very motivating.
Okay, but she also sang. Oh no, hold on. Do 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 in Ontario. It's always a fun place to go.
No way!
Yeah.
I loved that commercial when I was a kid.
Marineland in Niagara Falls,
Yes!
Niagara
Niagara
Falls,
Falls,
Ontario.
Ontario.
It's always a fun place to go.
Yes.
Do. Yeah, her name is Susie McNeil.
Okay, well, good for her.
Yeah.
Is there any
All right.
Rita McNeil on this list?
No, there's no Rita McNeil, although I think there should have been.
How about Anne?
the Miners song?
Snowbird Lady. Snow.
Oh, no, she's famous all
Yeah,
over the world.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Ireland and I was 13 years old, had mum and dad's cassette deck, and I was singing my heart out to Snowbird with Anne Marie. Beneath the snowy mantle golden green, the young burn grass lies waiting for us. Oh yeah, I'm very diverse in my music
No
taste.
diggity, no diggity. There better be some hip on that
Well,
list.
that was most of the list, and there was no hip because I think the hip actually, I don't know. This was most of the list. Yeah, that was the list. Oh, there was one that
Okay.
I didn't know, but maybe you know it. I did kind of know it.
Oh yeah. I don't.
Okay, for those of you that can't see us, we're both here
Oh, I'm just
bobbing our
bopping.
heads. Yeah, we got this.
What is that?
So the name of the song is Fuel Injected, and this song is sung by Swollen Members.
Oh, I've heard of Swollen Members
Yeah.
before. So I think that we've missed the #1 Canadiana song that maybe isn't big in the States.
What's that?
Log Driver's Waltz.
You what?
The Log Driver's Waltz?
No.
Thank you, Sheldon. Right? It's the best. It has like a little cartoon. It used to, yeah. And
Okay.
okay.
Hold on,
Did
if
you
I
find
can
it?
find it. Who sings it?
That'll
Kate
work.
and Annie or
Sure,
the Swinging
doesn't-
Bells? Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll go with the Swinging Bells because I like to
Turn
sing their
this up. Yeah, hold on. Sheldon's got it. This isn't it.
name. Is
This got sound, Sheldon? Okay, hold on. So for
Turn it up.
anybody that grew up in Canada, this is going to bring back some memories, except for Karen.
Well, I didn't grow up in Canada.
Well,
I
you're
only have my
13.
teen years in
Or
Canada.
TV Ontario.
Oh yeah, I totally recognize that symbol.
All right, it's a vignette. It's a Canadian vignette. Hold on.
So it's not a song?
It is. Hold on. I'm going to fast forward it a little. Oh, maybe more than a little. It turns into a cartoon here.
Oh, I might.
Look at him go!
For those that can't see him go, he's dancing on a log going down the river.
All right,
Okay.
Sheldon, thank you very much.
But I should say,
Yeah.
coming from Canada,
Yeah.
or no, coming to Canada,
Yeah.
I used to watch Degrassi before
Oh,
it
yeah.
was Degrassi Street. Before it was Degrassi Junior High and High, it was Degrassi Street, and Wheels was on it, like he's
Yeah,
all the way
Wheels,
back.
yeah.
And then I also watched Danger Bay,
Oh, I love Danger
right?
Bay.
And then we also watched The Beachcombers.
Oh, with Relic.
And we watched The Littlest Hobo. We used to get a lot of
Nice.
Canadian programming
That
in
is
Ireland.
sweet.
Yeah.
That-
so when
did
I
you get
came
Mr.
over-
Dress Up?
No, we didn't. We had our own crazy Irish kids stuff. Yeah.
With creepy dolls
Yeah,
and
Bosco.
shit.
Oh my God. Yeah, and Bosco. Anybody that is in Ireland, Bosco. I saw some videos of him recently, and I'm like, how was that okay? Like he was weird, and maybe it was a she. I never really knew if Bosco was a he or a she.
Oh.
Yeah.
They.
Look it up. Look it up. Yeah. They.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
All right.
Kate just did a performance,
and
it was fantastic.
Good job, Kate.
Thinking of Yellow Jackets, I'm too sexy for
Well,
this cave. Too sexy for
Kate's a huge Yellow Jackets fan.
Yeah.
And she just did a crazy rendition of I'm Too Sexy. Let's go, lesbians. Okay, so on that note, maybe we'll shut down this segment and we'll come back and close it up.
Sounds good.
All right.
Feeling stuck? At Coaching with Karen, we believe the answers you need are already within you. Whether it's life, wellness, or career guidance, Karen is here to help you uncover your path and move forward with confidence. Because a better tomorrow starts with the right support today. So visit us at coachingwithkaren@gmail.com to take your first step, and that's coaching with a K.
Welcome back to the wrap-up portion of our podcast today. As you can hear, Billy Joel's playing. It's a very familiar song to everyone at this point who listens to our podcast. Shout out to Billy Joel. Yeah.
If you're listening, we appreciate the fact that you allow your music to be shown on YouTube
Yeah.
because when we upload it, it does check all the stuff for copyright, and this music is allowed to be played. So,
thank
you
you.
very much, Billy
Yeah.
Joel.
If you're listening.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure he is.
Or his people, anyway.
Yeah, peeps. Yeah, he's got peeps. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was a really great show today.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
had
the
fun.
chit chat. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Me too.
And we just want to say thanks to everybody who's listening. We are getting stopped randomly. Today I got some feedback on things we missed during menopause that people, it's impacting them. So I think we'll have to talk more about some of these things.
Absolutely. I was sitting at my desk and I had one of our locals, actually somebody that works here at the town and does lots of stuff with fundraising with us and the travel
Yep.
club. So Delaney came
Yeah,
in and
big
said,
shout out to
Karen,
Delaney.
I just started listening to your podcast and that menopause episode was great, but you need to talk about body itch. That it's a huge thing
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, okay, so yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is maybe where we'll take advantage of trying to get that website set up. So if people want to give us some feedback,
Yeah.
we can bring it back.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I had Kegels thrown in my face.
Oh, we need to talk about Kegels.
Right now?
Why not?
Okay.
Okay.
So I got stopped at the grocery store by a fan of ours, Cheryl, shout out, and she's just like, hey, I listened to the menopause episode, but you totally missed Kegels. No one talks about fucking Kegels anymore, or ever, never anymore. I don't know, was it a big
Well,
of a
it's
big
important.
time?
It is an
Yeah,
important thing.
absolutely.
From somebody that has horrible bladder control, I agree.
Yeah.
But I still don't do them.
So I did them a lot after both kids, because when I'd
Oh.
laugh, I would pee. And I don't have that issue anymore, but absolutely, and I know that some people, like, there's surgeries for it,
Yeah.
you can see physiotherapists for it, so, I think we were pretty clear. It wasn't an exhaustive list,
No,
what we
no.
talked about, but certainly we're trying to cover the bases, but
mostly the stuff that is affecting us.
mainly because
pretty
we're
much.
selfish.
Yeah, it's all about us. It's our
I mean,
podcast. We are the
we
two
started
board
this,
ladies.
yeah. All right, well, I don't know. I think that's pretty good for today.
Yeah, so we're going to sign off saying
Yes.
goodbye in Irish.
Ooh, give it.
And it's now, again, remembering I left Ireland when I was 14 and
You
I was
better
horrible
say
at
it
Irish.
properly.
So when we would leave the classroom or we would end the school day, we would always have to say, Slán, that dagus gurrev mahagut. So that means, and it was always a sing-song, so that's the only reason why I still remember, right? That hooked on phonics part. So Slán is
Slán.
goodbye in Ireland. But if you really want to say bye to somebody in Ireland, you got to say, bye-bye, bye-bye, love you, bye-bye, yeah, bye-bye, bye,
Over and
bye,
over.
bye-bye, bye-bye. Because
Prepare
it's
for this
very
for a
hard
while.
to get off the phone when you're talking to somebody in Ireland. So anyways, bye-bye and Slán.
Slán.
Angie and Karen want to recognize that this episode was recorded on traditional indigenous lands and was brought to you by In My Parents' Basement Studios. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Like a wave, hatch plans that we'll never save. Frozen hair and a frosty kiss. In the ice, our secrets twist. Talking about dreams